team. You know what that means. This is for the black and blue that I bleed. This is for the chance to bring home that ring. But everybody gonna doubt this. So far there ain't been another way around it. We bring heat to the game each week. They just say we ain't got what it takes. We ain't bout it. Well, y'all can just keep saying that we ain't gonna make it. But at the end of the day, this will be the Panthers nation. You know, this ain't a game to us major players at every angle that you can think of. That's why you hate us. Get out the way of greatness. You can look at our faces and see the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to create this. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but you can save it. Cause even on the darkest of days, you know we're always gonna find a way to tell them what we gonna do. We gotta
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? All right. We are here at week 6. Panthers at LA Rams. You wanted to know this song? It is free hard press beats by Hexagon, no copyright beat, bass boosted sound. And that is off of Hype Beat Music. Go give them a sub if you guys like their music. That was lit right there. Whew. That was lit. But hey, if you like the content, if you like the video, if you like the streams, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you are enjoying what you're seeing on YouTube. Also, be sure to come check out the Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps on the Facebook page for in-game content, posts, opinions, and reactions to NFL news, as well as schedule releases for the channel and the Yahoo Sports Keep Pounding Fantasy Football League. Let's get into it. First, a couple of shout-outs. Lock Poppy, what's up with you? Steve Spencer, what's up, man? David Kesha, how you doing, man? Shout out to all of y'all. And anybody else that is checking out the stream right now. Y'all a bunch of night owls, and welcome on in. I love the night owls. I'm with y'all, man. I'm a night owl myself. But hey, so we're here. Now at week 6, Steve Wilks is now the interim head coach. And we're already hearing reports that the practices are getting ramped up. You know, pads are clacking. You know, bodies are shaking. I mean, it's a good time. This man is pushing these guys harder than they've ever been pushed around Matt Rule as a head coach. So, shout out to Steve Wilks and his crew, man. He's doing an excellent job with these guys. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Changes would be immediate as soon as this man took over. Y'all know I'm not playing. And Steve Wilks ain't playing around either. This man wants to win. He wants to win now. I'm going to tell y'all something. This man understands that he only has a short time as interim head coach to impress David Tepper and this fan base. And let me tell you, he's already impressed me. That's just right out of the gate. He's already impressed me. And I knew exactly what we were getting. We were getting a hard-nosed, heel to the grindstone, spine of an interim head coach. I knew exactly what we were going to get. And we got exactly what I expected. And a little more. Which makes me very, very happy. What I was watching this week was to see how he would mess around with our depth chart, how he would look at our who we brought up from the practice squad. We'll address the trade rumors in a little bit, but I want to address this first because this is important. Since we have been having linebacker problems, he brought up Aaron Mosby with Luvu hurt right now, which I'm very happy with that. Moving on, we got Jacob Eason, the quarterback, which a lot of people didn't even realize we had Jacob Eason on our practice squad. You know, I've been pointing him out for a little bit now. And I want to see what he can do. And because we have had corner issues with J.C. Horn on the injury report again, who is doubtful, we got Tay Hayes, the former Appalachian State corner, who had a very strong preseason coming up from the practice squad. Now, what does that mean for this depth chart? That means you're going to see all three of these guys in some way, shape, or form in the next couple of weeks. Since PJ is our starting quarterback for this game against the Rams, you may see Eason a little sooner than you think. Tay Hayes will be in on some plays, most likely special teams. I'm not expecting him to have a huge role. You know, CJ is going to be out there guarding on the opposite side of Dante Jackson. So, the main one we need to focus on is that linebacker position, and that's Aaron Mosby. He's going to have an increased role out there trying to stop the run and trying to stop these tight ends. So, we'll take a look at that Rams roster in a little bit, and we'll find out what we're doing with. But for now, I want to get straight to the elephant in the room here, because we've had a few different trade rumors tossed around. Tossed around. We're gonna start with DJ. All right. So, from what I have heard, and I don't know if this is a true rumor or not, Dallas is interested in DJ Moore, and they're interested in tossing a first round at us. For me, that's going to be a no, no, no. No. Do not do it. Do not do it. You will regret that one. I'm telling you right now, you will regret that one. I mean, honestly, why would you toss away the best wide receiver we have? You know, that's just stupid. Like I've been saying, we need to retool, not rebuild. I don't know how many people keep saying that we just need a total rebuild. Oh, we just need to trade away all our players. No, we don't. Some of these guys just need to be coached. You know, I've been saying that since the very beginning of the year. And for anybody that's been paying attention, you already know this. I'm starting to sound like a broken record at this point. But honestly, if our management hears this, they should recognize the fact that, you know, the lack of coaching is what got us into this mess. You know, so if you coach a little bit more with people like DJ, he'll be back to his form. You know, he'll be getting 1,000 yards. You know, if you depending on Ben McAdoo, if Ben McAdoo's offense was being held back, and think about this is a crazy theory, but what if Ben McAdoo's offense was being held back by Matt Rule? Same with Joe Brady. What if both were being held back? And granted, if Joe Brady's offense was being held back, more power to him to speak up right now. You know, if it was, but honestly, he was awful in press room conferences, man. I could not handle the pressers of Joe Brady. I could not do it. You know, granted he didn't give away anything important, but I could not handle it. But if this theory runs true, and Matt Rule was holding back our offensive coordinators, then what? Think about it, folks. Give it some thought. Because I guarantee you, since Steve Wilkes is running the building right now, Ben McAdoo's just kind of hiding in his office right now, just going, don't find me, don't find me, don't find me, don't find me, please don't find me. Oh, Lordy. If that offense don't get their butts in gear this week, it's going to be a long season. But I will tell you this. There's only so much you can do based on what Matt Rule did to us. So, let's just take what we got and use it. So, that in mind, I don't like this DJ trade offer at all. Value-wise, yes, he's worth a first. I'll give you that. Do we want to trade him? No way. No way. Absolutely not. Next one up. CMC. Do we want to trade this man? No way. Let me tell y'all something. He and DJ just need some coaching. That's it. Just work with CMC, and he'll do wonders for you. Coach up DJ, he'll get those 1,000 yards back. No problem. All we got, DJ was getting those 1,000 yards even with a broken offensive line. Think about that. Even with Sam Darnold and a broken offensive line in Joe Brady's offense, he still got 1,000 yards. I'm just trying to tell y'all right now. That's all the man needs. It's just a little time. Get that offense back in gear. Get some proper play calling up in there. And then watch what happens. Get him motivated, and then DJ's going to take off like a rocket. That's who DJ is. That's who he is, folks. CMC, same thing. Keep him on the field. Keep him healthy. His work ethic will take care of the rest. You don't even have to coach this man at all. Just keep him on the field. Don't overuse him. Let him do work. I mean, it's real simple. I mean, imagine if... And we got two teams interested in him right now. We're hearing offers supposedly on CMC, and the Bucks and the Rams are the ones most interested in him. Now think how terrifying CMC would be in a environment like Tampa Bay or LA with proper coaching and playing us twice a year. Think about the numbers he would rack up against this defense. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Do not trade CMC. Let me say it again for the people that aren't listening right now, that have tunnel vision on trying to rebuild this entire team from scratch. Do not trade CMC. You will regret it twice a year if you trade him to the Bucks. I guarantee you that. They will make you pay for it. And that would be one of the dumbest decisions we have made in franchise history if that were the case. Don't do it. Man. If you want to anger the fan base, that's the quickest way to do it right now. Don't take us on a Disneyland roller coaster right now, man. Come on. We just got Steve Wilkes as a head coach interim right now. Don't do this to us. Just don't. Seriously, just don't. You're better than this. Think before you move people. Please. I'm begging you. Now, we are unwilling to trade Derek Brown and Brian Burns, supposedly, by reports. Okay. Now, the Panthers locker room isn't going to like this. This is where they're not going to like this. Derek Brown, to me, has not been putting up the numbers. I'm sorry to say it, but he is not. I would have zero problem with him being moved. Brian Burns, if we absolutely have to have a trade happen there, so be it. You know, I'm not thrilled about it, but I do agree that he needs to be one of the basic building blocks of what we're trying to build going forward. However, we got some work to do with him. Let's put some coaching in with him, you know, with Al Holcomb, and let's just see if we can get Brian Burns to the next level. If we can't, then we need to move him. You know, same thing with Ian Thomas. I've been saying it. If you can't push him to the next level and a different coaching staff can, so be it. You know, we'll move him. But I would prefer we don't have to do that. You know, I'm like I said, I'm willing to sit another year on Ian Thomas. As far as Brian Burns is concerned, I'm 50-50 on whether we should move him or not. I think this might be one of those situations where he needs to be coached more. If so, awesome. And that solved the problem. If not, move him. I have zero problem with it. You know, we can always draft a defensive end. You know, we can always draft a defensive tackle in this draft, which we're going to anyway as far as defensive tackle is concerned. And a lot of people want us to get a defensive end, you know, because of Gross Matos. So, honestly, we're getting one of both anyway. So those moves would not really move the needle for me as far as like frustration wise or approval wise. And it wouldn't surprise me if we made them. You know, and the management took a 180 on this. But as far as Robbie Anderson is concerned, trade him today. with all due respect, trade this man today. All right, I'm honestly done listening to him trash the fans. I'm done listening to him, with his clown nonsense. Like, oh, I'm so upset that Matt Rule was fired. It's like, come on. You want him, go after him. If he stays in the NFL, go follow him. That's all I got to say. We can trade you to whatever team you want to go to. But don't trash the fans. Don't trash the fans when you clearly don't have a clue that Matt Rule is the problem. Okay, please, don't do it. It's plain as day. Everybody's figured it out. I mean, honestly, even Fox announcers were trashing the man. I mean, really? How clueless are you if you haven't figured it out yet? That Matt Clown Rule was the problem. And thank God he's gone. Now we can actually get back to work. As an organization to really start fixing these problems. One by one, we're going to get there. But we got to repair the damage. We got to, plug up the holes in the boat, It's not going to be hard. In some cases, in other cases it will be. You got to choose, what you want to do from here on. And be smart about it. Be bold about it. As far as I'm concerned, I think you guys are making the right decision when it comes to Robbie Anderson. You will not regret it. We're looking for a top round pick for that. So, last we heard value wise was the combine when it comes to Robbie is he was worth a third. Now, with him playing better, maybe debatable second. I don't know. I'm still aiming towards a third. I think a third right now. Even with the numbers he's putting up. But, excuse me. But yeah, he could definitely help out a playoff team that's trying to make a push. Absolutely. He could become that number 2 or number 3 guy, that a team counts on right now. Or he could replace a guy that's been hurt, all year. So, it's a wise investment for whatever team wants him. Just one third rounder, sure. What? You were going to draft a wide receiver with that pick anyway? Come on. Come on. Take the bait on Robbie. With all due respect to Robbie as a person, though, I do like him, as a person. And for real, though, like, I would hang out with him. But business is business, man. You gotta move the people that are making things difficult for your locker room and making things challenging. So for your team going forward. And if you find an opportunity like this one, take it. If you see a trade offer for Robbie for just straight up for a wide receiver that you think is just as good and maybe a late round pick, take it. I'm all for it. Listen to some offers, see what people want. But, don't give up too much. Because after all, we do need that third, man. We do need it. So, Um, it is what it is. You take what you can get. Whatever you can't get is whatever you can't get. So, yeah. Um, Steve Smith put out a new video. Oh, I didn't even see that. Um, yeah, somebody linked me that. I will one time I will allow people to put that link in chat. Go ahead and do that if you guys find it. Um, I will gladly let y'all do that. Because I was not aware that that was a thing that he reacted to it. Um, so that in mind, let's see. All right, so yeah, this was just about an hour ago. Per source, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the front runners to land CMC. If we were, the expected return for Carolina is in the deal is expected to be a third round draft pick. No, the Rams have also expressed interest. Third round is not enough for CMC. I'm sorry, it's just not. I understand the man has had injuries. I understand that we've had issues with, the coaching staff going in and out, you know, and he's not worth a third to me. You see the link? Let me check, my man. Let me check. Where'd you send it? Did you put it on the page? Is it in chat? Where is it? All right. We good so far? Okay. Oh, in YouTube chat. Okay. No. No, it's not up. Let me change the settings to make sure that people can post links, because I'm not aware if they can or not. Um, they should be able to. Should be able to. New settings. Yeah. Yeah, people can post links. I don't know why it's not letting. I don't know. Oh, okay. Cut told. Gotcha. It's on their channel. Roger that. Let me double check. I'd be happy to do that for you. Let me see. Oh, that's the name of the channel? Okay. I don't know. I never did find his channel. On I don't know. Maybe it'll pop up. Oh, I think I found it. Oh, it's cut to it. Gotcha. All right. How long is this? 42 minutes. It's a 42-minute stream. I'm not gonna cut. All right. Yeah, let me go ahead and sub so I can find that again. Yeah, we can take a look at that. I would eventually like to get to the Rams preview though. Of the Rams game tomorrow. But we can go a few minutes of this, sure. Let me make sure this shows on stream. Here we go. I actually have not seen this, so let's take a listen, y'all.
So one of the players asked me, OG, what do you do? I'm going to read you my reply, not going to say who the individual was. So they said, hey, what do you think? I said, man, it's hard to watch. And I said, what you can do is study and learn. You all are not going to win. But how do you become smarter when the time comes either with a new team or a better coach or next year or the year after when you're ready? That's the best I could tell you. I said, I don't miss the emotional roller coaster that you guys are going to be on for the remainder of the season. If I'm on this team right now, I'm on the ledge. First of all, if I was on this team, I would have asked to be traded. A cut to an emergency podcast. We unfortunately have to report that head coach Matt Rule his services are no longer needed, required, or even allowed, even if he chooses to be the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. David Tepper has decided that he will move on, and the interim head coach is former defensive coordinator, the current secondaries coach, former Arizona Cardinals head coach, Steve Wilkes.
My first reaction was, what took so long? Because man, oh man, was this not? We hear it every time a college coach comes to the NFL. Like, can he make that transition? It's not for everybody, and it
Correct.
does not seem to be for Matt Rule. What was your initial reaction? Obviously, you're down there right now. Are people happy? Are people shocked? Like, what's the temperature?
Well, I haven't really taken a temperature or a poll of what people believe or not. I knew something was up because I started getting a whole bunch of texts. I was running a few errands around town preparing for tomorrow's show, and got this news. And one, I'm happy for Coach Wilkes. I like Coach Wilkes. I think he's a super intelligent, well-rounded, very respected in the locker room, whether he's a head coach, defense coordinator, or the corners coach, secondaries coach. My first reaction in my mind out loud, like if I put the cameras away and I go, what's my reaction? My first reaction is, what is a legitimate or realistic expectation of a turnaround? Because
Good question, Steve. Very good question. A turnaround might look like improved practices, which you saw this week. Um, it might also look like depth chart reordering. It would look like us actually really putting up a real fight on Sundays. Versus what you saw with Matt Rule and everything else that went on with Matt Rule. A turnaround might also look like retooling, not rebuilding. A turnaround might look like maybe 5 or 6 wins for this year, which would put us in the top 10 in the draft order, which I mean is reasonable. With Steve Wilkes, if he can earn this job, by getting us to 5 or 6 wins, I find that enough to give him the job. In my honest opinion, honestly. And that was my original projection for us this year. So, for me, if you realistically look at our schedule and what we were actually looking at as a ceiling for this year with the talent that we have, even with all of this talent, we were still looking at 6 wins tops. 6 to 9 wins tops. And that's without Matt Rule. And us actually pushing ourselves and really trying to break that glass ceiling. So, to me, when you really look at it, a Steve Wilkes turnaround looks like 5 or 6 wins on the season as a whole going forward. I would venture to say 4 more because of where we are in the schedule now. Because we missed our opportunity with the Browns. We missed our opportunity with the Giants. So now we're entering that tough part of the schedule. So you're looking at 3 or 4 more games that we could possibly win. With Steve Wilkes pushing our talent levels to the max, and breaking that glass ceiling in several areas. So, to me, if I was the owner, I would give him a fair chance at that head coaching chair if he got that. That's realistic expectations. You can't ask him to do anything more than that. You could say he's doomed to fail, in that regard because of the schedule and everything working against him that Matt Rule screwed him up on. But, I mean, there's always so much the man can do. So, give him credit where it's due. If we get to 5 or 6 wins this year, give the man a fair shake. Put his name in the hat and make sure it stays in the hat. When you start looking at the new head coaching position. It's got to be there. Honestly, I respect what Steve Wilkes has been doing so far. He's already made excellent changes to this team. I've already pointed this out. And I called this even before it even happened. I knew he was going to... Alright. Let's look at the Panthers depth chart. You can immediately see the change that he has made. Even just the practice squad move-ups. It was enough to get a lot of people's attention. You're looking at... let's look at safety position. Miles Hartsfield over Sean Chandler. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. We finally got Hartsfield where he actually belongs. I've been saying this. Sean Taylor does not belong in a 53-man roster. He just doesn't. Like, the man can tackle, but 100 other free safeties can tackle as well. And to me, excellent move on our depth chart. He didn't get moved back. Excellent. thus far, you can only do so much. Excuse me. But the next change I would like to see happen is Bozeman over Pat Eflon. I've been saying it for weeks. I think Bozeman is better, but if Wilkes believes that Pat Eflon should have the starting center job, I will respect that, and I will, I will tone down on that one because I do trust Wilkes. He has seen what it takes to succeed in the league. He has seen, from the very beginning of what we were building in 13, 14, and 15, from the very start of that build, he's seen it all. From the bottom of the hill of the mountain to the top of the mountain, where we were at the Super Bowl, and the decline of it. So he's seen everything, and he's learned. So to me, we roster. So I'm a lot more willing to trust Steve Wilkes when it comes to this roster than I ever was with any of our head coaches before this. I did trust Ron Rivera to a degree because I believe that roster building was one of his strengths. And it did get us where we wanted to go. The promised land. So I'll give him that respect. He did have that talent to be able to do that, and that learned skill. It's a bit of both, really. You got to feel out the team. You got to feel out the players, understand their strengths and weaknesses, and know exactly where to put them. Where you can get the most out of them. I trust Steve Wilkes with our roster. If he says that Pat Eflon is the way to go, I will quietly and respectfully let the man do his job. I trust him. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, hang on. Let the man do his job. Let's watch the results. Let's see, if Pat Eflon really has improved that much, fair enough. I'm not going to argue. Right now, I'm quietly stating my case. I do believe Bozeman is better. But, Steve Wilkes, it's your team, man. Do what you think is best. I trust you. That being said, you can see the changes in this depth chart and what he has done so far. He's already, there isn't really that much of a change to be made based on what we have. We don't have as much as we think we do. And that's Matt Rule, And it's unfortunate. You look at the talent we do have. It's capable of 6 wins total for the year. 6 to 9. We got to get Luvu healthy. We got to get J.C. Horn healthy. We're going to need Chen back. Oof, excuse me. I'm running on not much sleep lately. So, I'm working on it, guys. I've had a lot of stuff off stream to deal with, so bear with me. If I feel a bit sleepy and it just starts hitting me like that, man, just work with me, alright? Just roll with it. Alright, but, yeah, this is... You can only do so much with this roster right now. thus far, I'm happy with it. I can't even complain. Now, here's something that he did that I actually think is very, very interesting. He put LaVisca as a kick returner. Blackshear is second string. And here's something that I think people need to know. If you were paying attention to last week's game, you may not have noticed this man got up to 200 yards on kick returns. I did point it out on stream in the post game. But a lot of people missed this. Alright, so let's look at Blackshear here. This is a 5'9", 190 pound running back from Virginia Tech. And he had a 48-yarder. Yes, folks, this man got to the 50-yard line twice during that game. I want to point that out because that's important. This is a major move right here in the depth chart. And I'm not even complaining that they put LaVisca in front of Blackshear. But I would like to see both of them kind of trade off on kick returns. Let's just see which one is better. You know? LaVisca can break tackles, though. I think that's why he got the job. But, you know, based on what we're looking at, these are immediate changes by Steve Wilkes. And we're going to take a look at this injury report real quick. And things got real very quickly with this injury report. Look how long this is now. Did you notice that half of this roster of these people were not even on here before? And yes, I'm talking about Stanley Thomas Oliver. He was not there before. Steven Sullivan was not there before. Cameron Irving was not there before. Robbie Anderson was not there before. So, you know, while we're here, let's just go through it. J.C. Horn is out. LaVisca is out. So you will see Blackshear back there at kick returns. Stanley Thomas Oliver's out. Won't make a difference, though. Because we barely use the man. C.J. Henderson is questionable. That is why the corner got pulled up from the practice squad. Right there. That questionable status. Frankie Luvu. That is why the linebacker got pulled up from the practice squad. You move on down to DJ Moore. Full practice. DJ's fine. All 3 days. Steven Sullivan, limited practice, full practice. He'll be fine. You'll see Steven if we use him at all. Xavier Woods, hamstring injury. Limited practice on Wednesday and Thursday. Full practice on Friday. No status. So we might see him. That is a hamstring injury, but it's a possibility. You never know. Alright, Dante Jackson is questionable. Ankle injury. Limited practice. Did not practice. That's probably going to be out on Sunday. I would not count on Dante being there. So if you have him on your fantasy roster, do not put him in. If you have a fantasy league that has defensive players on it, do not put him in. Cameron Irving, groin injury, did not practice. That's questionable. Oof. Won't be seeing him. Won't matter though, because I mean, honestly, we're kind of sticking to what we got already. So Cameron Irving's kind of second string, and yeah, not a problem. Robbie had an illness on Friday, questionable. Probably won't see him. Now that one is the one that concerns me a little bit because Robbie has been putting up the majority of our yards. Minus CMC's contribution last week. So now I think DJ might get forced that ball a little bit more, and that's not going to be good because he's got that shoulder injury going on. So if he re-injures that shoulder, we're going to see some of these other wide receivers, maybe Rashad Higgins, Shi Smith will probably be in. TMJ might get some playing time as well. We'll see how that goes. But at guard position, I think we are okay. We do have Brady Christensen there. We do have Corbett on the other side. So for me, we're okay there. But Cameron Irving is listed as a tackle, not a guard. So I don't know why that was on the injury report as him being a guard. He's not a guard. Originally he was a guard, but now he's listed in the tackle area. So I don't know what's going on there. That's really interesting to me. Which one is he? Well, technically he's both, if you look at it. But we're going to look at that depth chart. And there he is behind Taylor Moton in tackle. Keep in mind, Cameron Irving, Michael Jordan, these are all Matt Rule people. So, once we get through this season, once we start tossing all the Matt Rule people, and getting down to business on roster building with a new coach, I think this could be the start of something really, really beautiful. And I think Wilkes knows what he's doing. He knows what Ron Rivera did to build this roster. He knows what Dave Gettleman did to create this roster. Even though Gettleman was who he was, and people often... I gotta be careful what I say about him because a lot of people have thrown me under the bus for my opinions on heavily supporting Gettleman, but it is what it is. He built a masterful roster. It was beautiful. From the outside in, it looked like the most ragtag bunch of people, but he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly, piece by piece, what we needed and where. And we were just literally one piece off from being one of the most masterful teams in the NFL in decades. This team could actually go head to head with some of the greatest teams out there in 15. I could guarantee you we could go head to head with some of the best ones out there. Super Bowl winners. And actually probably win. We had that much talent. And we knew exactly how to use it and what to do with it. So, my point being, if Steve Wilkes is running this roster, he's going to run it the right way. He's going to build it the same way Ron did. And that's exactly what we want. Because that is championship building right there. You know, we got we got the Stonemeister's apprentice running this team now. He has become the Stonemeister. And he's taking all these building blocks and he says, okay, this is what we're going to do with it. I like what I see. I think we got something here. You know, we're not going to trade this player. We're not going to trade that player. We're not going to trade that player. We're going to listen to offers on one. And we're going to see what people throw out there, but probably, you know, stick our finger up in the wind and just see what direction the wind blows. You know? But honestly, it ain't going to happen probably. I doubt it. You know, all these teams are not going to offer anything that's actually worth CMC. They're going to try to cheat us on that one. And I can just see that right now. The only ones that won't are the Bucks and the Rams because they legitimately want him. But the rest of them are just, let's just throw all caution in the wind and throw out a joke trade offer out there and just see what happens. You know, let's see if we can get him for a steal. You know, it's like, really? You know, if you really think you're going to fool Scott Fitter with joke offers, he's not going to take the bait. He's not that dumb. No. This ain't his first rodeo. He is way, way, way smarter than you guys give him credit for. And as far as I'm concerned, I might be overhyping him a little bit, but this man is straight up a genius when it comes to trading. And he's got the aggressiveness that I have. You know, with plus or minus, you know, when you got a couple of players in the last week of training camp and you think you can get some value out of them, you package them up, you get a pick or two, 6th or 7th round, you know, that's how aggressive I am. I'm a little bit more aggressive than he is, but not much, you know. That's how my mindset works. But I love the aggressiveness he's shown so far. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, I know I kind of went off on a huge tangent here, and I know you guys want to hear Steve Smith some more, so I'm gonna pop him back up here for you guys. All right, let's take a listen. But excellent question by Steve Smith there. You know, what would the path look like, you know, afterwards? All right, so what's next, Steve? What's your answer to that question?
I don't necessarily see Steve Wilks turning this team around. Not because I don't think I don't think Steve Wilks can. I'm just asking, where's this turnaround going to come from? Is Baker Mayfield all of a sudden going to be able to shoot out, be in a shootout, or out athletic Lamar Jackson come week 10? Like I just don't see it. Especially based off what we've seen in the first 5 weeks.
Right.
I don't see Baker Mayfield all of a sudden not hesitating in his throw like I saw him do this past weekend, less than 24 hours ago, or almost 24 hours ago, throwing a pick six to Mosley. Like he hesitates and throws that pick. Now all of a sudden he's not going to hesitate because Steve Wilks is a head coach, right? And I'm just throwing out there why and what is all of a sudden going to change because there's a new head coach. Because even with a new head coach, there's still some of the same players.
Yeah.
Right? Defensively, I don't know if Phil Snow's staying, but do you think defensively, because maybe possibly under a new team, that they'll get better? Because the scheme is the scheme. Why was Matt Rule fired? Matt Rule fired because defensively, this team, the Carolina Panthers, are really good. They are. I mean, they get winded because they're on the field so much because the offense is dead last in a lot of statistical categories. Didn't get beyond the game, right? But offensively, total offense last, scoring 17th, and I think that's being gracious.
I was gonna say that's crazy high for what I would have guessed.
Me too. Rushing 24th, which is puzzling, right?
Yeah.
With CMC, passing 30th, third down last, sacks 23rd, turnovers 16, red zone 26, big plays 30th, yards per play 27.
All right, y'all just heard the numbers. I mean, that's disgusting. Come on. With the talent we've got, that is disgusting. Thank God Matt Rule is gone. Man. We got to do better than that. And all it takes is a little coaching, in my opinion. You know, there's simple little things you can fix. You know, yeah, granted, this stuff is not going to get fixed overnight. You know, Baker's not just going to randomly not hesitate and throw a pick. You know, granted, I'll give you that, Steve. You know, some of this stuff can't be fixed overnight, but eventually it will be over the course of like 3, maybe 4 games. You know, you'll start to see gradual change. You know, and if that theory holds up, that Matt Rule was holding back Ben McAdoo, then we're going to see that happen, you know, in real time. You're going to notice that change over the course of like 3 to 4 weeks time. Now, granted, I'm not expecting an immediate change when it comes to quarterbacks. You know, I'm not expecting an immediate change when it comes to mechanics. You know, it does take time, you know, to get these mechanics back. You know, after a bad coach has screwed up and not allowed those mechanics to develop as they were meant to, you know, in the players. So it's going to take a little time. So what I'm asking for everybody is to be patient and to wait and watch. You will start to see gradual results with Steve Wilkes. I promise you, it's going to start on the defense. Because Steve Wilkes is a defensive-minded coach, so you will start to see it on the defense first. Wants to focus, I believe, you know, with Al Holcomb and try to get that defense back in order again. You know, with the run stopping. You know, if these guys step up on the D-line and they start crunching and winning those battles in the trenches more often than not, you know, throughout the game, then watch their mechanics, watch their footwork, watch their hands. That is Steve Wilkes. That is his coaching right there. You know, that's Al Holcomb's coaching. These guys have been in the business since the beginning of our climb to the top of the mountain. So watch that happen in real time. You'll start to notice those mechanics start to build and build and build, And soon you'll see the D-line start to win that battle 3/4 of the whole game. You know, don't expect it to be the whole game yet because we still have a lot of work to do. And this is where Steve is going to start shifting towards the offense and trying to fix the offensive problems. Because the offense cannot keep the defense off the field right now because of the lack of points. So if you start to fix that problem and you start on the line, you start to fix the mechanics on the line, and the first thing I would do after on Monday morning is I would get the offensive line coach and the defensive line coach and grab them right before practice and just say, okay, what can we do to improve the mechanics of both the lines? You know, show of hands. Who's got a suggestion? Come on, one of the two of you. Come on, and listen to them, hear them out, and let's see what happens. Give it a shot. It's Monday practice. It's... Well, they do practice on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Alright, so... in that case, have a meeting with them instead. And be like, okay, well, what can we do? To improve the lines. Either one of you, who's got a suggestion? When it comes to mechanics. What are you noticing on tape? What are you seeing in practices? I want to know what we're looking at. And Steve Wilkes is that detailed guy. He is that detail-oriented guy that will notice this stuff. When some others have failed to notice it. So he'll start to work on those mechanics of both the lines, and then you'll start to see changes from there. It'll be a domino effect in a very positive way from there. But mostly it'll start on defense. So what I'm expecting is over time, these changes will take place. And you'll start to see those rankings that we have go up instead of down. We have hit rock bottom with those numbers right there and that he just read off. And we can only go up from here after firing Matt Rule. That's just point blank. We can only go up. You can't go down any further than that. I don't see it. I know none of y'all see it either. So, let's continue.
Statistic. Over the last 3 years, the Carolina Panthers are 1-27 when Panthers opponents score at least 17 points or more. Pretty much, if you sneeze, you're going to beat the Carolina Panthers.
What I saw right before we hopped on to...
Ouch. And sneeze on us, they beat us. Oh, man. Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh, but this team needs that tough love right now. You know what I mean? It's a huge wake-up call. It really is. This offense has got to come in on Monday morning, have a meeting, and just say, we got to do better. I don't care if Baker is on crutches, whatever he's got to do. Come into that locker room and give a huge speech and just say, we have got to get our crap together. We are better than this. We are better than this. Just read off all those stats that Steve just read off to you into the room on offense and be like, Now, who's got suggestions? Let's get started. You know, that's what I want to see. That's real leadership right there. You know, stop screwing around. Put your foot down. Grow a spine and say, let's get down to business. It's time, folks. It's time. It is time. No better time like the present.
Dude, because I was going to say the 1 in 27 thing. Over that same stretch, the Chicago Bears have averaged 17 points. And I don't think many of us are sitting here saying, like, what a prolific offense the Chicago Bears
have. Wow. Bears have averaged 17 points. Yikes. Yikes. I can't believe I just heard that right there. That actually... I'm just sitting here just like, how do I even process that? After what we've seen this year, how do you even process that with the talent that we have on this offense? How? And I mean, granted, the Bears have gone through some rough years, but there was one year they had Alshon Jeffrey. And Alshon Jeffrey was actually really good. You know, you had a few good players, you know, on that Bears offense. And they still averaged less than 20 points. It was horrific. So, for us to be compared with the Bears, I'm not even sure what to do with this. I'm honestly not. I was not prepared for that comment right there. I was not at all. That's actually, I don't know whether to laugh at that or be very, very, like, concerned about our offense. That's bad.
What's a legitimate turnaround? And is it possible to turn this team around?
So I guess my first question is, what do you mean turnaround for this year?
I don't know, because
Right.
you're firing the coach for what is firing the coach for what? They need change, right? To I know generally was this to change up the message, to change up.
Right question. You know, are we looking at change this year or are we looking at change for the future as well? Correct question. I like this guy. Let's continue.
You know what things, how things are, but you're changing it up with what though?
So for me, it would be, if I'm the Carolina Panthers, I'm like, there's no rush to if I believe too many teams try and half-ass rebuilds where they're like, let's put some patchwork here. Like if you had a crack in your basement, a crack in
Excuse the language, but he's right. He's exactly right. There's no rush. You know, but at the same time, you still want Steve Wilkes to get the job, you know, if you're a Steve Wilkes advocator. Which I happen to be. You know, some people don't believe he's the answer. I still do. But he's right. You don't want to half retool it, you know? You don't want to half rebuild it and be like, well. But at the same time, it's kind of a gray area because you want to retool the team. You know, you want to repair the cracks, but you don't want to go crazy with it. You know, you want to make sure that the mold holds. And that's the trick. How do we know it's going to hold? Alright, so let's hear the rest of this explanation here. But he's right. He has asked all the right questions so far, and I really like this guy. Let's continue.
In your foundation and you didn't tend to it properly, the crack's going to keep reappearing just because you put some stucco on it. If you don't truly fix whatever the true problem is, all these it's cosmetic. You're putting paint on something that needs cement. You know what I mean? So if we're talking about their draft capital and how it's been mismanaged the last couple of years, that's where I would start. I would start by seeing, all right, who are some of these guys we don't think are long-term solutions here? Let's try and trade them off, get some more draft capital. Let's really embrace a youth movement. So if you're a player on that team and you think you're going to be there a few more years now, what are you hoping this firing
See,
accomplishes?
that is a
Well said. Absolutely right. And there's a couple of players I would move today. You know, Robbie Anderson being one of them. You know, I would debate on Brian Burns, but you know, I would not go crazy with it. But at the same time, like he's right. You don't want to keep putting the the glue on it and be like, oh well, we think we fixed it this time, and then like a day later that crack reappears. It's like, and then you're going, seriously? Well, you applied a temporary solution to a permanent problem. You know that to a much bigger problem that requires a lot more attention and detail to solve it. So he's exactly right. I love how he's putting these inferences and everything else. This is great. This is good content right here, folks. Thank you to Lock Poppy that suggested that I check this out. I appreciate it. Because I really do believe this stream can get a lot out of this right now. The people watching. Let's continue.
someone. I did have a player reach out to me last night.
So they
And
knew
he
last
said-
night?
What'd you say?
The players knew last night?
No. The players did not know last night. I don't even believe Matt Rule knew. I have not talked to Tepper about this, so I'm going off speculation. A lot of times when stuff like this happens, I don't talk to individuals or sources in that organization because I don't want the team or the source feels like that I'm taking
Right.
our conversation and basically benefiting from it. And so I intentionally did not speak to Tepper on purpose. Now, heading to this podcast last week, I spoke to a source on the team, and I actually talked to Mr. Tepper Monday heading in yesterday, and it was about a 30-minute conversation about a wide range of topics. And yes, we did a glance over or hovercraft or hover over the Carolina Panthers and some of that stuff. But I would imagine this is how it went down. Okay. Now, this is not coming from Mr. Tepper. So this is just my assumption based off knowing Mr. Tepper, knowing his passion for winning, his frustration for not being a winner, his competitiveness. Matt Rule has a press conference earlier this morning. And in his press conference, he spoke as if he was the head coach still of the Carolina Panthers. So that tells me one thing only, that he must have met with Mr. Tepper prior to that. I know he met with him after the game. It was a home game. I know Mr. Tepper generally says they talk. After, especially if it's a home game, they talk. He's going to give you his opinion, whether you like it or not. Right? So they talk. I'm probably thinking he, just like his press conference, sometimes Matt Rule say things that really you just kind of look like, hey, I was at the game. That didn't transpire. That didn't happen. And I believe Matt got into like he said, we need to score more points.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, don't say. And Mr. Chubb probably didn't sleep, but just napped on it. And got up this morning and said, nah, that didn't sit well with me.
Can't imagine. Yeah.
And Rule has the meeting, has the press conference. I believe it was at like 10, and then after that, you hear that he's been let go. He probably said some stuff that Tebow just like, I'm sick of this. Because there's times where I even hear Matt Rule say some things, and I'm kind of like, what? Do I like or dislike Matt Rule? I wasn't pretty fond of him originally, but this last training camp, I was around him quite a bit. I actually like Matt Rule. So one of the players asked me, OG, what do you do? What do you do? And I'm going to reply. I'm going to read you my reply. I'm not going to say who the individual was. So they said, hey, what do you think? I said, it's hard to watch.
This was Sunday night.
This is about 10 o'clock last night.
Okay.
Somebody text me. I'm not going to say who.
No, of course.
I said, man, it's hard to watch. I also said, the one thing, though, Baker hasn't been playing great, but I don't believe that the offense coordinator has dialed up the plays in the game to help Baker and help this offense. The one thing I did observe that I am concerned about as a fellow wide receiver is I am concerned at how Baker's going to get one of these wide receivers hurt. Because he was out there at the end of the game, he was out there throwing some blue tint balls. I can tell you that. DJ got hit pretty good. Robbie got hit pretty good. Shy got hit pretty good. It was at one point, he was just kind of, you could see him. Even when guys weren't even coming, he was double tapping and acting like, it was just, he didn't seem comfortable. But here's what yeah.
Wow. All right. So essentially, he's saying that, he's not surprised. But, at the same time, like, he understands Tepper. And he did say it's hard to watch. And I agree with him. It's always hard to watch whenever a coach gets fired. Whether you got a call for a coach's job, whether in any type of situation, it's tough, man. It's always tough. And I hate that for him, man. Because, yeah, Matt Rule is probably a great guy. He's probably a decent guy to sit down and have lunch with or go get McDonald's with. But it is what it is. NFL's a business. If you don't put up the proper success, then this is where you end up. Point blank. But y'all caught what he said about Ben McAdoo, right? Not giving these wide receivers the right or not giving the offense the correct opportunities. It's starting to feed into that little theory, isn't it, folks? That maybe Matt Rule was holding Ben back. I mean, this is starting to add a little bit of fuel to that fire. Let's find out. We're going to find out tomorrow when they kick off. Or later today if you're on the East Coast, because it's already past 1. But still, gonna find out. That's really interesting. And Baker's throwing some blue tip balls. I've never heard him actually described as that before. That's interesting. Essentially what he's saying is they are really like tight, thick spirals and like hard passes, you know? Like hit you in your gut type passes. That's the type of passes that he's describing there with the blue chip. So I see what he means. All right. Let's see what else he has to say here. This is fascinating stuff.
Yeah, here's what I said to this individual that's a current player. I said, it reminds me of when Jimmy Clausen was here.
Oh no.
Right? And I said, what you can do is study and learn. You all are not going to win.
Ouch. Ouch. Jeez. Did he really just say that? He really just said it reminded him of Jimmy Clausen. We're comparing Baker to Jimmy Clausen? Nah. Nah, I'm sorry. I can't get down with that. I've seen Baker in person. I can't. No. I've seen him throw better balls than he's been throwing all year in training camp. So, nah. I can't get down with that one. Sorry, buddy. Baker is Baker. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel about it. You know, I'm not making up excuses for him, but Baker is Baker. In both ways. You know, in good and bad. Ooh, I want to see Max's reaction to him. To Matt Rule being fired. This ought to be good. Too. We're gonna watch this one afterwards. I want to see this.
But how do you become smarter when the time comes either with a new team or a better coach or next year or the year after when you're ready? That's the best I could tell you. I said, I don't miss the emotional roller coaster that you guys are going to be on for the remainder of the season. If I'm on this team right now, I'm on the ledge, bro. First of all, if I was on this team, I would ask to be traded.
Really?
Yes.
How, like, after?
Whoa. Bombshell right there. Major bombshell. I did not expect that from the great Steve Smith. I mean, at the same time, he's Steve Smith. You know what I mean? And the guy just... He's not afraid to say what has to be said. But at the same time, like... Whoa. Hold up now. Let's take a step back here, man. Let's not do that. Oh man, this interview is getting crazy here, guys. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. This is great content too. There's a lot here I did not expect, and it's making for excellent content for everybody. And that's what Steve Smith is, man. He's a great guy, and he's unfiltered, and he's not afraid to tell the truth. He tells it like it is. You know, like Poppy just said it, man, in the chat a while back. Man, this is something. You were absolutely right to turn us on to this, Locke. Thank you. All right, let's see what else he's got to say. This is fascinating stuff.
For this game or much earlier in the season?
2 weeks ago, I'd have asked to be traded.
So you would have started the year there. You would have tried. You would have given it a shot.
I would have given it 2 years and 2 weeks, and then I'm out. I'm done. Gone.
Guys, I apologize. I had to take like 2 or 3 seconds to pick my jaw up off the floor. Jeez. 2 or 3 weeks? What even is this right now? What are we even watching right now? I mean, this is Steve Smith, but at the same time, it's like, whoa, this is Steve Smith. You know what I'm saying? This is really wild. I had no idea what we were getting ourselves into here when Lock Poppy suggested this. I had no idea. Okay? This is a total Disney ride roller coaster right here of emotions and just what in the absolute heck is going on here type reaction. That's what I got right now. What are we watching right now? My mind's blown. He would have given it 2 weeks. Huh. Alright, let's go.
Is it just
Zero
because
desire.
of? Is it because
Zero
of
desire.
the coach,
I think
the quarterback play, all of it?
I just watch it. Just watching this offense, right? You got Christian McCaffrey. He's stallion. DJ Moore. Where do I fit in? Where do I fit in this offense? You're not getting the ball to CJ, so you're gonna give it to me. You're not getting the ball to Robbie Anderson, so you're gonna give it to me. You're not getting the ball to DJ Moore, you're gonna give it to me. Like where do you fit? What gives me hope that the transition of Steve Wilkes, which I believe will help, but there are some glaring deficiencies on this offense that has nothing to do with the coach. It has to do with lack of execution. I'm just not sure what's going to happen.
So what? Because I almost feel bad for Wilkes. He got a raw deal in Arizona, and now
he got a crooked deal in Arizona. He had no shot.
No, but now he inherits this.
Yeah.
He's absolutely got a point. I mean, think about it from DJ's perspective, okay? Think about this from DJ's perspective. And this man was getting 1,000-yard season. Imagine this is Steve Smith out there, okay? And from Steve Smith's perspective, your mind is thinking, okay, you're not going to give me the ball. You're going to give it to CMC. You're not going to give me the ball. You're going to give it to Robbie Anderson. You're not going to give me the ball. You're going to give it to whoever it is, out there. And at the end of the day, DJ only gets like 3 catch attempts. He gets one of them. And that's actually happened. In one of these games, I think the Giants game. And DJ's got to be thinking, what in the world is this offense? You know what I mean? Like, what are we trying to accomplish here? If I'm not making 1,000-yard season, never mind the numbers. I just want to help this team win. But at the end of the day, I would like to continue that 1,000-yard streak, that I have going here. is it that this offensive coordinator is not giving me the ball? Why is it that we are slowing this offense down intentionally? What is going on here? Something ain't adding up. If you're DJ, you've already figured it out in 0.5 seconds that Matt Rule was holding everybody back. Like the rest of us have figured it out. But let's just assume he did. Let's go down that road and let's just assume he didn't. And he's just going, something just ain't adding up here. They're feeding everybody else the ball. Robbie Anderson had that terrible year last year. Now he's getting fed the ball. What does that leave me? Chopped liver? I'm chopped liver now out there? Come on. So you got to have those thoughts if you're one of these, like, top gauge wide receivers, with a broken offense. You got to have that thought process and be like, what? Come on. I want the ball. So, from that perspective, and supposing it's Steve Smith out there, I could see why Steve is saying the things he is. I now understand. That makes sense.
Yes, he inherits this. Scott Fitterer, general manager, which I believe in. But some people are, saying, well, it's his fault. But people got to go back and look and remember the contract. Matt Rule had final say over the final roster,
Right.
which I believe was a mistake. But
thank you, Steve Smith. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody's saying that. You got people in other people's live stream chats saying, "Oh, it's Scott Fitterer's fault. It's Scott Fitterer's fault." To a small degree, it is, because he did draft the people that Matt Rule put in front of him. But at what point do you stop blaming him and start blaming the real problem? For the people that really did think it was Scott. Come on. No. The rest of us have already seen through the curtain. Come on. And if you think the problem was Scott, you're about to find out very, very differently that you were wrong. Thank you, Steve Smith. He said the obvious thing here that everybody should know. Matt Rule had complete control of the roster. Ding, 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 ding. There's the key factor. I've been saying it for weeks. Matt Rule had complete control of that roster. He could do whatever he wanted with it. And he screwed it up royally. Scott Fitterer can get you all the tools in the tool shed, but if you don't know how to use those tools to actually fix your car, that car ain't going to run. Point blank. It ain't going to run. Thank you, Steve Smith. Amen, brother. He actually believes in Scott. Yes. That's what I need to hear. Show some love for Scott, man. Hit that like button if you support Scott Fitterer, man. Show him some love. This man is trying to save this franchise. If you believe in him too, show him that love. Let's go.
when you're a college coach, right? Let's just break. Let's break down. Again, I don't have anything against Matt Rule, but I do think there is a huge difference between college coaches and NFL coaches now. College coaches and why sometimes college coaches, when you hire one, can get you in trouble.
Let's do it.
When you think of college coach, what do you think of?
Like vibes, kind of. Like it's a lot of dealing with kids, like helping teens become young men, more or less.
Yeah.
So it's more.
You could be an adult babysitter in the pros, right? I'm
Sure.
not going to sit here and say that was the most mature professional. all 16 years of my career.
You?
I know, shocker, huh?
But it's also like I feel like in college, more than half the job's recruiting, especially at big programs, as opposed to the coaching itself.
Let me give you a understanding, right? So in college, coaches sometimes in most. Have you ever seen a 30 for 30 on?
SMU.
No,
Okay.
I've seen that one. That was pretty good. Phil Knight.
Okay. Yeah.
No, Phil Knight is Nike. I'm sorry. Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight. Yeah. I was thinking of the same
You
guy.
ever seen that 30 for 30 on Bobby Knight?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty remarkable because Bobby Knight for basketball is how college coaches are for like Alabama, for how Matt Rule was for Baylor, how Urban Meyer was for Ohio State, how Kyle Whittingham is for University of Utah. Do you know in now in colleges, there are some head coaches at colleges who are more powerful than the athletic director?
They're more powerful than
Sometimes
the
more powerful
governors.
than the president of the school.
Some, I mean, we saw it in Pennsylvania. Some of them are more powerful than the senators and governors of the state.
Correct. And what, Steve? What do you? Why are? What take land this plane? Well, first we're gonna have to hit this turbulence first. But think about this: a head coach in college, he has say over who and how things are marketed, who's on a program, who's on a media guide, who's on the tickets, how the boosters interact, who comes, who goes, who has parking, who doesn't have parking, what booster is allowed to have access, what booster is not allowed to have access, what booster powers are revoked, ticket office, all of that, how things are set up. In National Football League, that doesn't happen. When you're the head coach for the Panthers or for a team, you don't have say over how special or not. You're just there to give us a good show and tell us what time. But the ticket office has a ticket office president or director who deals with that, not the college coach. But in college, I mean in pros, but in college, you're in charge of that. So sometimes that comes up, it gets a little wonky. Where college coaches come up and they believe that they have control over everything. No, they're other supervisors in other areas. You are just coaching football. So sometimes that's why college coaches they get it confused of how much power they have. They start, college coaches worried about what guys are listening to before the game or any of that stuff. There's a lot of things that have gone on in college that they have control over because they're young men who are basically there and hanging on, and a lot of people, I don't think people know, but most scholarships, even in college, especially in football, that it doesn't go as well, they can revoke your scholarship at any moment.
Real fast.
But it's less. It's more. It happens more and more. So they bury you on the roster and they let you go on the transfer portal. Ain't no transfer portal when you're a free agent. Man, making $10 million and you don't want to play him, guess what? Hand me tight.
Mm-hmm.
I think the transition of this team, I don't think as a fan, alumni, being part of the organization, I'm not sure how fast things are going to turn around. Because you still have the quarterback at his position. You still got a rookie lineman who, Ike Ekwonu, who's going to be really good, but he's not going to get good all of a sudden going against Aaron Donald. He's not going to get good going against the Bucks, going against Grady Jackson. What is it?
Jarrett.
Jared Grady against the Falcons. He's not going to get better going against Trey Henderson with the Bengals.
If you were named
Thank you. These guys don't get better just by going against these guys. They actually have to train and develop. You got to give them a year. I've been saying that. These people don't want to listen, though. God. These hard-headed Panthers fans don't want to listen to that, though. I'm telling you. All over social media. You know, anybody that's not a part of our crew, they're on here, just refresh your stream on YouTube. Having some Wi-Fi issues, but yeah, man. If you're one of those Panther fans out there that believes that, oh, a player's going to get better due to competition and they're a rookie in the NFL. No, they're not. No, they're not. They are who they are when they come up to the NFL. They need development. They need coaching. You know, they need somebody to teach them, you know, this is what you do in the NFL versus the college level. You know, you need a college, you know, it's ridiculous. And some of these people are just so hard-headed about it that they're just like, well, we believe what we believe. We think the way we think, and they just don't change their mind, you know, on social media. And I'm just going, really? I've had some crazy debates with a few of them, man. I'm telling you. I don't know. Y'all have to date back some of those debates I've had with some of these people. Because it was like 4 or 5 years ago before I started streaming. But some of these people are wild. And I'm not saying any of y'all are on the crew, man. I'm just saying some of the people, you know, that are out there on social media that are Panthers fans. You're just, well, I believe what I believe, and that's the word, that's the law. For real, though, some of this stuff just does not exist. And y'all need to humble yourselves and go back and learn, you know, what's really going on. Because there's a lot of things, there's a lot of elements at play here when you're talking NFL level versus college level. And Steve Smith just laid out some of them for you. You know, so I think that's really fascinating. You know, like I said, we don't have that much time with the stream, so tonight, because I got some stuff I got to do tomorrow morning. But before the game starts at 4. So I would really like to get into the game prep right now, but we can get back to this in the post game stream if you guys would like to. You know, because I'll have a lot more time to dig into this. But yeah, this was really interesting so far. Steve Smith always has a lot of very interesting things to say, and what a freeze frame, by the way. What a strange freeze frame. But anyway, yeah, I'll dive back into it post game if you guys want. Just remind me in chat and I'll do it. Okay. But yeah, let's where are we at on this? 21 minutes. Okay. What I will do is I will first of all like that video. And is there a way to watch later? Alright, cool. I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, I did. All right. That way I can get back to it, and we'll also bookmark it. Cool. Uh, so let's kind of get back to this. We got I'm trying to get out of all these ads. Hold on. There we go. We currently have $9.5 million in cap space currently for the rest of the year. Now, looking at the injury report, and we're going to look at the Rams injury report real quick. Here's the important one. Center Brian Allen with a knee injury, and he is out. So when you look at the Rams depth chart, you're going to be seeing Jeremiah Cologne. Which I don't know that much about. So let's find out. 1 year guy from San Jose State. 6'3", 316. He actually did start a game against the Cowboys last week. So I'm guessing that this knee injury carried over from last week. Or the week before. Since we saw the backup center come in. Next one that's important. Cooper Kupp. Wide receiver with a foot injury. Did not practice on Wednesday. Limited practice on Thursday and Friday. Who knows? We might see him on Sunday. There's a 50-50 chance. When you're talking foot injuries. So I don't know. Tyler Higbee, the tight end. Now, let's see, where is he on this depth chart? Oh, he's the main tight end. So Kendall Blanton will come in. And frankly, I have trust in the guy that we brought up to handle Kendall here. 6'6", 262, 2 years out of Missouri. 2 catches for 35, not a big deal for this year. Career-wise, he had 4 catches last year for 37. No touchdowns. So, realistically, he's not a threat. So, we're going to start focusing on the run. But if you start leaving Kendall open, more and more and more and more throughout the game, we're going to notice him. Okay? Don't leave him open for too long. Or he will get noticed. But if we focus on the run for about 75% of the game, if you're the new linebacker that we brought in, then yeah, absolutely. Clearly. Yeah, I just want to show you guys this. This is Detroit's old stadium. You guys remember this back from the old days? Man. What a trash heap. Good God. I've seen some crazy stuff with older stadiums, but I've never seen one that looks like that. Good Lord. But, yeah, we brought up, where's this? Yeah, if you're Aaron Mosby, and Aaron Mosby is about to get a lot of action here on the field this week. I would focus 60% on the run, 40% on the pass. Try to help out with the screen passes if you can. You know, because that's what Frankie Louvu was doing a lot of. And his little pitch plays and stuff like that. You know, Frankie had to go over there and handle that nonsense. So, you know, head on over there and handle that business, man. You know, I'm not saying that we should totally ignore Kendall here. But what I'm saying is, you know, for the most part, focus on the run. He's not a major threat right at the moment. So, defensive end, Aaron Darnold. Excuse me. Alright, this is a big one. Foot injury, did not practice on Thursday and Friday, limited on Friday there. So questionable. I don't think he's going to play. If he does, watch out. Y'all know what Aaron Donald is capable of, man. Y'all know this is a dangerous guy. If he's on the field in any capacity, watch out if you're on the offensive line. He has a very, very big reputation for being disruptive. And, you know, he is not a joke, man. You got to handle your business. You cannot be undisciplined on that line when he comes out there. He will take full advantage of that and use it against you. Alright, so let's look at Brandon Powell. Hip injury, did not practice on Wednesday. Full practice on Friday. Thursday and Friday. So he'll be playing. David Long, defensive back with a groin. Limited, full. No status. Colby Durant, corner, hamstring. Limited. Questionable. Now that guy we may not even see at all. Moving on to Taylor Rapp, the safety, rib injury. Limited, full, no status. Cam Akers, the running back, personal issue, did not practice out. So we will not be seeing Akers at all. And Akers is where on this running back depth chart? Wow, that's the starter. Starting running back. So you'll see Darrell Henderson Jr. and Malcolm Brown. Kind of a combo of both is what you're going to be seeing on Sunday. Now, Black Poppy asked, that stadium is wild. Does it still stand today? It's talking about the Lions Stadium. As far as I know, I mean, somebody took a video of it and put it on the internet today. Right before stream, I saw it on a YouTube short. So, I mean, I don't know. That was pretty wild. All right, now. Last person on this injury report is John Wofford, the quarterback with a neck injury. Limited practice on Friday, questionable. We're not going to be seeing him anyway, so I'm not worried about it. Alright, so, in summary, you may or may not be seeing Cooper Kupp, so Dante, be aware. One way or another. You probably will not be dealing with Aaron Darnold for the most part, but if you do, watch out. And Cam Akers is out. So, I mean, these are major injuries going into this game against the Rams. We could take advantage of all these. We do have Baker on our injury list with an ankle, and he's doubtful, which means he probably will not play. The big one that concerns me is Frankie Louvu and DJ Moore. If you got those two out, we're in trouble. Straight up. I'm eagerly awaiting Xavier Woods to come back. And I'm hoping, beyond hope, that he does not re-injure something. We've got Dante Jackson with an ankle, did not practice on Friday, questionable. That's bad. With J.C. Horn out right now, that is very bad. We got CJ. With a knee injury, questionable. This means if Kupp plays, he's going to have a field day with these corners. This is not good. And with Frankie Louvu not available to help out, we got a serious problem. Chin is not on the injury report. Woods is. So, I'm just hoping, beyond hope, that we can get this defense going and actually take care of business on Sunday. It's a huge question mark, man. I don't know. On offense, we got PJ Walker, coming in. We will not be able to use LaVisca. We will not be able to use DJ if he does not come in. With that shoulder injury, which I predict he will be there. So we'll have DJ available. Robbie with an illness. If he's not able to go, that's going to hurt us. Cameron Irving will not. Steven Sullivan will not. So, honestly, that's what's going to happen. Now, based on the injury reports, let's take a look at what we're dealing with. Since we already know our own team pretty well. You're going to be dealing with Allen Robinson, Tutu, maybe, might get a catch or two. You're going to be dealing with Kendall at tight end, Joe at left tackle, Bobby Evans at left guard, Brian Allen at center, Arlec Jackson at right guard, Rob, haven't seen. He's going to be a menace. And we're going to have a major problem on our hands. So Hartsfield better be ready. He had better be ready to step it up. Because Cooper ain't no joke this year, man. You've been watching this dude, like, he has been racking up, like, fantasy points like crazy. That's how I started noticing him. And then I said, hold up, let me watch this dude play a little bit. So I did. I watched a little bit of the highlight of last Sunday's highlight reel from that game, and I was like, dude, Cooper Kupp is, wow. Yeah, he's the real deal. So then you got Ben Stonerook. The wide receiver. Let's just call him Ben. Don't know much about him. Could be dangerous. Might not be. Let's find out. If Kupp can't go, then Brandon Powell will go. And we'll take a look at Brandon Powell in a minute. Let's look at Ben. 6'3", 224, Notre Dame, 2 years in. 18 receptions, 181 yards. No touchdowns. Keyword, 0 touchdowns. That's the column I want y'all to pay attention to right there. He might have all those catches racked up, but how many touchdowns? That tells me he's a sticks mover. He'll move the sticks. And he did so successfully against the Niners and the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals' defense is awful. So, not a surprise he got 32 off of that. Against the Bills, who are about top echelon still, he got 6.2, 12 longest. Okay, cool. So you look at his career. Last year, he had 1 catch for 11. One game started for out of 14 with the Rams. 11 catches, 133 yards. 12.1 average. 35 long. And I don't know what game that is specifically. But again, notice 0 touchdowns. He was the 249th pick in the NFL draft. Alright. Cool. So we've done a rundown on him. Brandon Powell. Brandon Powell's next. And we're doing the offense first. So Brandon Powell is a 5'8", 181-pound wide receiver, 5 years in the league from Florida. Alright, so that tells me right there, he came out of Florida 5 years ago. That was a fast Florida draft class of wide receivers, from what I remember. You had about 2 of them that came out of that Florida class. They were quick guys too, man. Alright, so 5 catches, 43 yards, 8.6. That shows me exactly what I was just saying right there. That confirms it. Tried to get him involved in the running game a little bit. with the Niners and Cowboys game. Worked out okay. Before that, did not work against the Falcons. Falcons saw right through it. Alright, and again, it's important to note, guess how many touchdowns? See, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. If you notice a column like that, any number that does not look like it does not belong there, that's the numbers you should be paying attention to. If you see a column with zeros in it, when it comes to touchdowns, in a major column like that, that's something to pay attention to, folks. That tells you one of two things. Either he is an average run-of-the-mill wide receiver, or he is just a chain mover. For Cooper Kupp, who is a long ball thrower. Long ball threat. Going back in his career, his best year was 18, where he had 11 catches for 129 yards. Yeah, 41 long, not bad. One rushing attempt for 4 yards. Also not bad. But notice this 0 right here in the touchdown column. Okay. Chain mover. This is supporting my claim more and more here. Alright, so one catch with the Falcons for 12, 69 yards. 13-yard play, not bad. 2 touchdowns. Now you got my attention. Because that 2 does not look like it should belong there. You had 2 rushing attempts, 7 yards. Nothing too fancy. 2 fumbles, though. That's the number that caught my attention right there. So here's what I would like to see us do. I would say peanut punch this dude. Let's see if we can get a fumble out of him. You never know. 5 catches, 43 yards so far this year. 4 run attempts. Negative numbers. Cool. Alright, so all in all, a chain mover. Yeah, Chin is on IR. Thank you. Thank you, Log Poppy. You are correct. Alright, who else we got? Darrell Henderson Jr. Let's take a look at his numbers. This got my attention right here. 5'8", 208-pound guy from Memphis. He's a big old boy. Look at this dude. 34 carries, 138 yards, 4.06 average, and 1 touchdown. Yeah, he's a big, strong one. I would not want to deal with that guy. Ooh, I like that average. I like that average column. Look at this, guys. This is so far this year. Now, the Rams running back came back. He did not play against the Cowboys. You know, but did you notice 0 touchdowns? Yep. 5 receptions for 26 against the Bills in week 1. 5.2 average. 10 longest. No touchdowns. In his career, he's averaged 5 in back-to-back years of 2020 and 2021 touchdowns. And again, this average for his whole career looks very impressive. I can't even lie to you. That's an impressive number. Okay, here's the two numbers I want to focus on right here. 624 yards in 2020, 688 yards in last year. If you look at receptions, here's where the touchdowns start to kick in. You got 3 last year. 29 catches, 176 yards, 6.1 average. So he can move after he catches the ball. Alright. And just over 1,500 yards. Not bad. No doubt he's going to drop at least 120 on us. No doubt. With the way our run defense is right now, no doubt. Alright, so let's look at the defense. We've got Alshon Robinson. Let's take a look at him. 6'4", 330 from Alabama. 10 solo tackles. But no sacks. You know, no safeties, no defensive deflections. So really, this dude is a nobody this year. He's a non-threat right now. I came from the Detroit Lions originally. He used to be a major pass deflector. Look at this. 7 in his rookie year. 6 in 2017. 3 in 2019. When he was actually able to play some games. And he had 1 in 2020. So that number shifted over towards 2 forced fumbles the next following year. Last year. So a consistent 1 through 3 straight years. Forced fumbles. Yeah. And then you see none this year. He's due for one. Keep your eyes peeled. Don't let him get it. Alright. So far, no sacks. He's been quiet in the sack category. And we're just into week 6, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine how much more damage this dude is going to do throughout the year. It's scary. 5 in 2016. He don't really do that, though. Here's what he does do. Did you notice the forced fumble column? That is what people need to start paying attention to. That right there is terrifying. Because that can change the course of a game. So, are we going to let this man ruin our party, man? With forced fumbles? He's only got one so far. Don't let him get another one. And I mean, so far he's already had one pass deflection. So, the other thing we need to worry about is the sack column when it comes to Aaron Donald. Look at those numbers. 2018, he had 20.5. 2020, he had 13.5. 2021, he had 12.5. Interestingly enough, he kind of slowed down this year. All right. So those are the numbers you should be focused on with him. That's a scary dude right there, man. Who else are we looking at? Ooh, Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner, if anybody is not familiar with Bobby Wagner, he was part of that Seattle Legion of Boom. Not part of it, but he was on that depth chart, sitting back there, and a very dangerous guy. 6 foot even, 241, Utah State, 11 years in the league. Bobby Wagner has 19 solo tackles, 2 sacks. This is the guy you need to watch out for on this defense. He's very, very dangerous. First thing that comes to my attention already, look at this pass deflection column. Good night. That is 60 pass deflections. Do not let this man get his hands up on that defensive line. Do not let him do it. He'll get an easy one on you. Now, sacks. He's relatively quiet as far as sacks. He's got 1, 2, maybe 3. But he will rack up tackles. He's almost up to 1,500. So, eyes peeled on that one. Now, interceptions, I don't think we really have much to worry about now. Although we should really pay attention, if PJ is going to be throwing some hospital balls, pay attention. We don't want those balls going to the other team. So PJ, pay attention, man. No more hospital balls, please. Not only is it an interception risk, it could also get our wide receivers killed. Especially with a team like the Rams. And here you go. 10 NFL seasons with the Seattle Seahawks. During that 10-year amassed 1,383 total tackles, 11 interceptions, one of which was returned 98 yards for a touchdown, 60 pass breakups, and a quarterback hits ratio of 78 while being named Pro Bowl 8 times and a first-team All-Pro 6 times. So if anybody's paying attention, this is a baller right here. This is a dog on this line. You do not want to piss him off. He will make you pay for it. Alright. And I do remember watching him with Seattle with that Legion of Boom. He was a scary one, for sure. Ernest Jones. Some people might remember that name. Inside linebacker. 6'2", 230. South Carolina Gamecock. 2 years in the league. 13 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble. Okay. So during his 2-year tenure so far, he managed to get 2 pass deflections, 2 picks last year. Alright, so watch out for this dude for picks. He's also forced a fumble this year. 1 sack last year. Realistically, kind of boring numbers. But he's still really good. Don't discount him by his numbers. He's still really good. Let's see. I don't recognize any of these names, really. None of them really ring a bell. Alright, so that's realistically what we're dealing with. There's a couple of people in that secondary that I'm really not going to spend the time on, but watch out for them anyway. This Rams defense is not a joke. They're very, very dangerous. And especially the ones I've mentioned so far, eyes peeled. You know, use proper mechanics, use proper technique, and you should be fine. You shouldn't have to worry. Fail to do that, and you're in trouble. That's basically what I'm saying. Alright, so realistically, we got a shot at the Rams. I'm not saying we're going to get it. I'm saying we got a shot. You know, the opportunity is there. Can PJ seize the moment and take care of it? And open up this offense and get the job done? Is it possible? I mean, we'll see. My main advice for these guys this week: be extra careful to the people that I pointed out. You know, those people that are guarding those said players, watch out. And those people that are healing on the injury list, hope you get better soon. We need you. Especially you, Luvu. Would love to see you on the field, man. Can't wait. And thank you for the signed football, by the way, if you're watching. I very, very much appreciate it, man. You know, it means an absolute ton to me, man. So much, dude. So much. Dude, you're quickly working your way up my list of favorite players right now. And I like it. You know, of the past, 15 years. He's going up the ladder, y'all. I like Frankie, man. But yeah. Alright, to the players that are healthy going into this, who are not being matched up, use proper techniques, use proper discipline, that Steve Wilkes is teaching you. Be smart. Cut down on the unnecessary penalties. Don't beat ourselves. Fight. Come out there and take care of business. I believe in you guys. I believe you have more potential in you than you are showing right now. I believe that you have more discipline than you are showing right now. That's why I'm giving you guys that opportunity. Show us. Show all of us. Come out there and fight. Be dogs. Don't just settle. Don't take the easy points. Unless you have no other choice. Or if it's situational. But if you see an opportunity, strike. You may not get another one. The Rams are tough, man. They make a lot of adjustments. So be careful. Come out there. Be who you are. Let the dog off the leash and be who you are. And that doesn't mean be stupid and get into penalties. That means be the player that we have signed, and we have put on the field to the best of your ability. That's what we want. So, be who you are. If you're a dog, then be a dog. If you are a strong physical player, then be a strong physical player. Be who you are. Show up. Walk the walk. Don't just talk the talk in the press rooms. Let's see it. And I'm talking about offensively and defensively here. Especially the offense. Wake up. Y'all better wake up. Because it's going to be a long season if we don't get our act together on offense. Yeah, I'm talking to you guys. You know exactly who I'm talking to. Yep. You. You, ladies and gentlemen, in that locker room. I believe in you. You have more in you. Show us. I know this for a fact when it comes to DJ. I know it for a fact when it comes to CMC. I know for a fact that Baker's got more in him than this. And for everything that is green on this earth, please give Chuba and the tight ends 30 minutes on the jug machine every day, please. It ain't hard. It'll fix their problem. I swear it will. I swear it will. If it doesn't, come back and we'll try to find another solution for you, alright? We'll figure something out. We got a smart crew here, man. You guys out. Alright? We'll figure something out. If Steve hasn't figured it out and Ben hasn't figured it out, or the wide receivers or any of these coaches haven't figured it out, we'll work with you. Let's see if we can figure this out together. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be dropping these balls. Point blank, period. Now, I'll give you a pass if you're trying to trap it. I'll give you a pass on that. That's showing an A for effort. You know what I mean? It is what it is. The ball is an inch off the ground. You can't do much about that. I'm talking about the ones that are wide open passes and you know you should not be dropping them. Screen passes, flip passes, stuff like that. Yeah. We're going to figure something out. I believe in every member of this team to the fullest extent. I know y'all have it in you. Come out there and play. Come out there and be dogs. Because that is what this game requires. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it requires you to come out there and be fighters. And, you know, it's an interesting thing. When you look back at the 2015 team, every one of these players, oh my goodness, man. You want to talk about some of the craziest stories from them. I'll bet you every single one of those players would tell you, if your body ain't aching after a 4-quarter game, you ain't doing something right. You're not playing to the best of your ability. You know, you're not coming out there and you're not being a dog. Point blank and simple. Matt Rule has got y'all soft, and it's time to get y'all back on the right track again. And I believe Steve is the man to do it. Alright, so let's see it. Come out there and fight. Show us who you are. So with that being said, is there any other content that you guys would like to cover? Speaking of coverage, J.C. Horn had the fewest yards allowed in coverage, 47 versus his counterparts. 62 for Jamal Dean, Bryce Callahan, 75 for the Chargers. Rasul Douglas, ooh, I remember that name, 81. I'm not surprised he's up there. DJ Reed Jr., 88. And if you've been paying attention to Rasul Douglas, this does not surprise you at all. If you're familiar with that name at all. It shouldn't. Dude's a beast. And the name that's not on this list is actually James Bradbury. He's been putting up some decent work up in New York this year. So, give him some love. We miss him. But, you know, it is what it is. So, this year is a mess. We will be about $27 million over the cap next offseason. After filling out the roster to reach 51. Alright, so we're supposed to be at 51 players, right? We can't go over 51. It used to be 53, now it's 51 apparently. Alright. Assume a $225 million cap, could be higher or lower. But in any case, it's the 30th ranked team. So, what do we do to remedy that? We probably move a couple of players. I would assume Robbie. Brian Burns probably would help with that. 27. Lower that to, in the teens range. Then it's a big question mark. This is why I think they're shopping CMC around. That's a big question mark. How do we make that go away in the offseason and get who we need to get? I wish it was that simple. But honestly, it's going to take some moves. It's going to take some restructuring. I'm not even going to pay attention to their picks, you know. Panthers cornerbacks passer rating when targeted in 2022. Let's take a look. J.C. Horn, 37.5, 22 targets. Dante Jackson, 83.4, 23 targets. C.J. Henderson, 102.7, 20 targets. Keith Taylor, 60.4, 2 targets. Miles Hartsfield, 115.8, 24 targets. Now, notice the two on here, CJ and Miles Hartsfield. Does that not catch your attention? Because you want that to be the lowest number to highest, right? Lowest number means you're doing good. Alright, so that's realistically what we got. Picking up the tempo in practice. Look at this. So Dimitri has a potential playoff picture. All right. Realistically, that's what we're dealing with. Not feeling that comment right there. Alright, but this is a strange year, so a lot of strange things have happened. If you look at these numbers right here, 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Matt Ryan, same for Stafford. Stafford is a very, very dangerous quarterback. So, I mean, it is what it is. Take away his targets, Stafford has a lot of trouble. So, take away his targets, we may have a shot. We can do something on offense. Baker is day to day. He's making progress. He says, I'd say there's a chance he plays versus the Rams. That is good news. Alright, so I want to make sure this is perfectly clear and put on the screen. The Panthers are not looking to trade CMC, and the Bills never called the Panthers about a trade, according to his sources. There you go. We also had Luke Kuechly in at the first practice this week. Luke Kuechly was there. Ladies and gentlemen, the Luke Kuechly was there. He's already noticed the differences. David Tepper was there. He got to see all the changes to this first practice. So, I mean, you can notice the total changes out of the gate. And these guys did. So, that is amazing. We got his attention. Now what? Alright, well, this is what we're dealing with thus far. Relatively quiet week, besides the firing. I don't care what Robbie has to say about the firing. Honestly, don't care. He can take it or leave it. I don't care. Alright, so that's what we're dealing with. Anybody got questions? Any players y'all want to talk about in chat? Throw the names out. We'll talk about them. I can go for another 10, 15 minutes probably. And then I gotta call it a stream here. But, oh, we need to talk about the games this week. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of college, just real quick, I did see that Alabama lost to Tennessee. Auburn lost to Mississippi there. That's a big one. Let's quickly look through these scores. Oklahoma upset Kansas. Honestly, I don't see why Kansas was even ranked. That surprised me. That they're even ranked. Alright, so I don't see Tennessee winning the national championship, but if they do, we need to pull a couple players from them. Either way. Let's see. My Clemson Tigers took care of business today, beating Florida State. Happy to see that. We allowed 14 in that fourth quarter. Not too thrilled about my Clemson Tigers defense right now. They've been allowing some points in that fourth quarter. Don't like it. So, if they want to win that championship, they better clean that up. My Atlanta Braves lost in their wild card series, but that's unfortunate, But they'll come back next year, man. They're fighters, man. They'll be back. Alright, so getting back to the NFL. Predictions for this week. San Francisco versus Atlanta. Let's go. And I think we already got our first final score. Washington over Chicago. I would have picked that anyway. Washington is definitely better than Chicago any day of the week. So if I'm San Francisco's defense, be aware. New England versus Cleveland. This is where New England's luck runs out. Cleveland's going to win that game. Jets and Green Bay. Green Bay's going to win. Jacksonville and Indianapolis. I actually have Jacksonville winning that game. Surprisingly enough. Jacksonville looks stronger. Colts have been having some trouble. 2-2-1, as you can see. A little bit of a strange up and down year for the Colts. Minnesota and Miami. I'm looking at Minnesota right now, 4-1, about to become 5-1. This is an opportunity for Minnesota to kind of stretch out and really push their boundaries and get this big win right here. Make a push, and make a statement. That 4-1 record is legitimate. Shout out to Harvey. What's up, Matt? Also, shout out to Sean. I forgot to shout you out earlier. I apologize about that. Cincinnati and New Orleans. What do we got here? I've got the Saints winning that one. Good defense. Good defense will win that battle. Although it'll be close. Baltimore and the Giants. Considering the Giants are 4-1 right now, I think the Giants' luck is about to run out. Baltimore is about to surprise them. Harvey says, "What's up, my night owls out there? What's up, man?" Yeah. Got all the usual night owls out here, man. In the stream. You know how it is. Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh. Yeah, I got Tampa Bay, man. Tampa Bay is going to win that one. They're going to go 4-2. Pittsburgh's going to fall to 1-5. And it's going to make us look better when we beat Pittsburgh, to be honest. And that will happen later on, I think. We'll find out. It's going to be a 50-50 game later on. Arizona and Seattle. I have Arizona winning that game by 7. That's going to be a tight one. Buffalo and KC. Guess who's back to 4-1? KC's back to 4-1. Dangerous team right there. This is going to be a titanic battle right here. This could be an AFC Championship preview. Do keep that in mind, folks. 4-1, both of them. This is going to be a nasty game right here. I got Buffalo winning by 7. It's going to be real tough. Alright, so Dallas and the Eagles. Of course, the Eagles are undefeated. Dallas is playing well. This is going to be a tight one right here. I think it's going to come down to field position and who plays better defense. And right now, that looks like Dallas. So, that being said, you got Monday night's game, Denver and the Chargers. I've got the Chargers. Denver's still struggling. They're 2-3. Chargers are on the rise. There you go. That's what you're looking at. Alright, so keeping in mind our division, if the Saints lose to Cincinnati, that helps us. If Tampa can't find a way to get it together against Pittsburgh, which I doubt, Tampa will find a way to win that one. Kind of a low scoring encounter there. But it'll happen. Tampa Bay will continue to increase their lead. Falcons. If San Francisco can pull off the upset, that's big for us. Alright, so doing that homework, if we take care of our business against the Rams and actually somehow manage to win and the Saints lose, we gain a game on the Saints at least. I'll take it. I don't know about y'all, but I'll take it. So that's realistically what we got going on. If you want to talk about any players, now would be the time. I've covered pretty much every topic that we can cover tonight, including the trade rumors, Matt Rule, the whole 9 yards. So if you got any players, throw them in chat. Please do. I'll entertain it for another 5-10 minutes. But then I gotta get some sleep, y'all. Alright, nothing? Okay. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys so much. We'll entertain the rest of that Steve Smith podcast in the post game stream Sunday night. Be looking for that after 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure exactly what time I'm going to do it. That will depend on what goes on. I'll announce it so you guys will know. Within a modest amount of time, so you guys will be able to get there in time and check it out. If you miss any of the streams, go back and check out the VODs. Feel free. They're all free. They're all out there. Hopefully none of them are muted, but I can't really control that. That's YouTube algorithm and Facebook algorithm. So, the bots. So, I need sleep, guys. And I will see you guys in the halftime show tomorrow afternoon. Shout out one more time to the people in chat right now. Lock Poppy, Steve Spencer, Harvey, David Kesha, and alright, let me see. And Sean. There we go. So shout out to all y'all. I apologize about the camera flip on Facebook there. It does that. Shout out to all the new members and subscribers. I appreciate all of you. Welcome on in to the crew. Welcome to the family. And excited to have all of you. Very, very excited. This has been a great year when it comes to growth for the channel and the page, and I'm very excited to see that because these are all amazing people that are coming up in here. and checking out the channel and being who you are, you know. And thank you for sticking around if you have. You know, I greatly appreciate it. I do realize that this stream and these videos and this content that I put out is not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. You know, I have been ostracized a lot in the fan base. So, I do get it. You know, if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. You know, there's like, what, a dozen other streamers out there. Go support them too, you know? Go check them out. You know, if I'm not it for you. And I get it. You know, no harm. But if you feel like coming back, you are welcome back at any time. The door is open. You know? Door is wide open for any of y'all. If you feel like coming back at any time. So, it always will be. For those that don't know, I support fans from all 32 teams. You know, I welcome them in here. Just don't be trolls. You know what I mean? Don't be pricks. You know who you are. Don't do it. Not on my channel. Don't do it. You know, y'all can come up in here and chat and be yourselves. You know, be humble people. Be kind people. But y'all know how this works, man. And I get it. It's social media. It's a platform. People are going to be how they are. You know, they're all keyboard warriors until they come back and face you face to face. And then they go, oh, well, I'm the kindest gentleman in the world. Yeah, sure you are. I've seen your posts. You know what? I'm going to pull a David Tepper and I'm going to be like, yep, I read your columns. I read all your columns. I read every bit of it. Hey, don't be that person, man. Don't be that reporter. Don't be that person. Be the kind individuals that you are. You know, I love all of y'all, man. Thank you so much. And we just hit 500 recently, members wise. So excited about that. Dude, it's awesome. It really is awesome. And we're on the fast track to 500 on YouTube. Send them on over to YouTube. Let's hit the, you know, next level. I want as many amazing people in this crew as we can get, man. You know, amazing, kind people that come on here and debate properly and really want to learn, you know, about this team and about the sport. I encourage all of y'all, share the streams. Share the streams, folks, please. Please do. Invite your friends to be members on the Facebook page. Please do. I always welcome it. Come on. Love it, man. Hit that like button if you enjoyed any of the parts of the stream that you saw on either YouTube or Facebook. And we will try to show some love to those people that need it right now. You know, especially those healing from injuries and sicknesses and stuff like that. Some stuff is more important than just football. So, you know, shout out to Carol. Shout out to all the people that are dealing with injuries and God knows what other battles you guys are battling with, man. Because it's tough, man. It's a tough world out there. Life deals you a tough hand of cards, and you just gotta deal with what you can. You gotta keep pounding through it. It ain't easy. I should know. I'm one of those people that got dealt a tough hand of cards, man, over the years. So, I'm right there with y'all, man. I sympathize with you. You know, you're not alone. And if you feel like you need somebody to reach out to, hit up my DMs. Real talk, hit up my DMs. I am here to listen to y'all. And I'm here to help. Keep in mind, my valuable, but I will get back to you as soon as I am able to. You know, some days I am running on very little hours of sleep, but I will do my very, very best to get back to you if you do reach out and you really do need my help. So, that being said, this team is on the verge of success. Keep pounding. Keep pounding. Keep pounding. Because that is who we are. Y'all ready for this next game, man? Hit up that like button, man. You know, real talk, man. Let's get it, man. And if you want to know, like, where I got that music from with the intro, here you go. No copyright trap music. It's hyper beat music. Go check them out. Go give them a sub. Love these guys. I'm actually gonna give them a sub right now. Matter of fact, there you go. Love their tracks. That stuff is bumping, man. Give them a listen before the game. It'll get you pumped up. And if anybody wants to join the live streams, you know, the watch parties and that we do, I do watch parties on Zoom. So look for that on the Facebook group page. I'll be posting the ID and the password there right before kickoff, so go be looking for that. That being said, let's get up out of here. Keep pounding, ladies and gentlemen. Love you guys. Keep pounding. Let's go get that win. Keep pounding, baby.